Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to make just a short video over some answering some questions that I've had for the last couple of weeks. I've had questions on my rod setups. What kind of rods do I use this time of year during the pre-spawn? What kind of areas do I target to look for these crappie and how to catch them? So I'm going to show you my rods that I use on my boat, and I'm going to take you on the lake with me, show you a couple scenarios of places to look for them that'll hold crappie before they move up to their beds. And that's about it. So you guys stay tuned, and hey, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you hadn't already. I'd appreciate it, and we'll get into the action. All right, guys, I've been asked about my rod setups, what rods I use, and how I rig them up for these pre-spawn crappie here. I'll just go down the line of some I got in the boat here. This is my trolling rod right here. This is a Mr. Crappie Slab Daddy. It's a 12-foot light action rod. Very sensitive on the end. And I just have a bait cast reel on it. And the line I'm using is 8-pound vicious line. I got the high vis yellow, and that's important because a lot of times you won't be able to see that bite. You won't be able to see that rod tip bury down if they don't hit it very hard. You just see your line go one way or the other, so it makes it a whole lot easier to detect the bite there. My next one's my favorite one. This is the rod I prefer to use all the time. There's times during the pre-spawn I can use it if I can find these fish on the structure. And this is a 10-foot ACC medium action. It's a jigging rod. Got the cork handle. I got the line I'm using on here. This is the optimized sniping braid right here, and this is a 10-pound braid. The braid's extra sensitive, and it's real strong. I can boat flip fish. I don't have to net a fish at all whenever I got this line on there. And I got it paired up with a bait cast reel. And this one, see, I was using a jig today. I just have my jig tied on the end, and then I'll have my sinker just to help it show up a little better on the sonar on the live scope for me, and it gets down there quicker. So that's my jigging rod. And if these fish are shallow, I can dip with this rod too. Now if I'm targeting the roaming fish, the fish that's not relating to the structures, just kind of cruising the channels and stuff, this is my 7-foot 6-inch ACC crappie stick. This is the GS76SG. I have it on a spinning rod, and I think I have a 8-pound line on here, a clear line. And I got right now it's set up for a minnow, but I throw jigs on them too. I use the number 2 wire hooks. Those wire hooks will straighten out and they'll save you some breaking off. And I got my split shot about 10 inches above it. And if I want to throw a cork or something when they're shallow, this is just a 6-foot medium light action spinning rod. I got 8-pound line on it. Actually, I got 10-pound on this one. 10-pound clear line on it. And of course you can rig whatever you want. If you want to use soft plastics, which is a good choice this time of year, especially if you're beating the banks with it, just a great little outfit. You can sit there, you can fish under a bobber, or you can throw little spinners, or however you want to fish. But a fun little rod to catch them on this time of year. Had some folks asking about my slip bobbers. These are the ones that I use. These are I think these are the Mr. Crappie ones. And all I do is I got a pack of them bobber stops right there. I'll just run it up the line wherever I need it, and especially if the fish are spawning, and then I can set it, you know, 3 or 4 foot deep, or to fish 3 or 4 foot deep, or however I want to do it. If I want to fish some of these fish that haven't gone into the beds yet, kind of cruising, I can set it down to 8 or 10 foot deep. Real easy to change out and adjust as you need it. That's just my rod setups, and that's the ones that work for me this time of year. All right, guys, you can see it, just that little bitty stick right there. It's a tree laid off. Don't look like much on top, but it's holding some fish right there. And during this pre-spawn, we're right here, kind of off of this point right here. And this is a spawning cove back in here. So what these fish are doing, they're traveling these ledges, and they'll stop and hold up at these little pieces of structure kind of on these points. And these crappie will tend to school up on these points, just waiting for the right temperature to move on in and do their thing back there. A prime example right here, I'll show you. Let me get zoomed in here. All right, neat. This is the channel right here, runs along this bluff right here. And I don't know if you can see over there, but there's all kind of brush and stuff. That's a big old flat over there. So what these fish are doing, right now we got 58-degree water temperature. These fish are coming, cruising this little channel right here. They'll stack up on this structure, not very long at a time, but they'll just kind of cruise this area right here, waiting on the temperature to warm up, just enough to take them over there to put them on them spawning flats. We had a cold front last night come in. It got down to 31, so these fish pulled back out. Water temp's 58 degrees today. So about 58 degrees is where I start looking for the black crappie to move up. And then about 62, 63 degrees, I'll be looking for them white crappie. They'll be right behind them. And as you know from watching my videos, I like to single pole. I like to drop down on these fish. But this is the one time a year during this pre-spawn where trolling or spider rigging is probably the most effective. These fish, for whatever reason, can get real finicky when you get close to them. And just hitting that trolling motor on and off, they get real spooky because they're running pretty shallow, anywhere from 6 to 10 foot deep. And so what I like to do is, I got a couple rods I just spider rigging up here. Like I said, not the way I prefer to fish, but very effective for this time of year. So I'm just letting the wind blow me down this bank, and I'm not hitting the trolling motor or anything, and not spooking these fish, and we've caught several fish just doing that today. Then when I get up to the structure up there, I'll grab my jigging rod and drop down in it a few times.